Okay, the time is 2 p.m. and I'm going to call the Tuesday, May 16th Committee of the Whole meeting to order. And I will begin with the land acknowledgement that the City of Fort Saskatchewan is located within Treaty 6 territory and Métis Nation of Alberta Region 4, the ancestral and traditional territory of the Nihilwak, Dene, Blackfoot, Saulteaux, Nakota Sioux, and Métis, and we acknowledge the many First Nations, Métis and Inuit, whose footsteps have marked these lands for generations. It is because of our treaty relationship that we can live, work, and play on Treaty 6 territory. All right, so first item of business will be approval of the April 18th, 2023 Committee of the Whole meeting minutes. Councillor Macon.
I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes of the April 18th, 2023 Committee of the Whole meeting as circulated.
Thank you. Are there any errors or omissions? Not seeing any, I will close the motion. Please cast your vote. And that motion is carried. All right, the next item that we have is delegations. Now, nobody has registered, but if there's any item on the agenda that anybody wishes to speak to, you may come to the front and have 5 minutes. So I will ask if anybody has anything. Okay, not seeing anybody racing to the podium. We will move on to the presentations that we have for this evening. The first one is Fort Saskatchewan Trail Alliance presentation. Jim Grant. So welcome. Since there's two of you, I'll have you do introductions.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you. Good afternoon, Your Worship, councillors. My name is Jim Grant, and this is Colin Hafer. And today we're going to introduce you to the Fort Saskatchewan Trail Alliance. Who we are. Who
Did you want to change seats?
No, that's
we're going
to split
together. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Teamwork.
Okay.
The Fort Saskatchewan Trail Alliance was created in order to ensure a healthy future for the single-track multi-use trails in Fort Saskatchewan. We are a non-profit organization local to Fort Saskatchewan devoted to all things trail in the region. We organize maintenance, promote safety, courtesy, and etiquette, and represent the community of those who run, hike, bike, and otherwise enjoy the trails.
Our mission statement. Our mission statement is to protect, maintain, enhance, promote, and sustain the Fort Saskatchewan single-track trail system, in turn promoting a healthy, recreational environment within the community.
The history of single-track trail in Fort Saskatchewan. Single-track trail is one where users must generally travel in single file. The trail tread is usually 18 to 24 inches wide, disturbing much less ground than paved or gravel trails. It is almost always natural surface and blends into the surrounding environment. Since its development in the early 1990s, the Fort Saskatchewan single-track trail system has been an excellent destination for activities such as hiking, running, mountain biking, and snowshoeing. Due to its proximity to the North Saskatchewan River, it offers up a varying degree of challenge for these activities, enabling people of all ages and abilities to enjoy the outdoors. Our single-track trails interconnect at multiple points to our incredible paved trail network, which helps provide a variety of experiences for year-round recreation.
A year in review. The FSTA celebrated its one-year anniversary in April 2023 as a registered non-for-profit. In August, we signed an agreement with the City of Fort Saskatchewan for maintenance and care of the single-track trail system. Throughout the year, we hosted 5 community trail maintenance days. These well-attended events brought a total of 130 community volunteers, providing over 300 hours of service. FSTA members, alongside community volunteers, replaced an existing and aging unsafe wooden feature with one built to a specific standard. We purchased and began to modify and utilize a winter trail groomer or snow dog. This helps to pack down the trails, ensuring their accessibility for all abilities. We hosted 3 free community events, including a trail run, winter fat bike ride, and a family walk. Each of these activities were well attended, with almost all available spots filled. Trail etiquette and safety were highlighted throughout each event. A winter ride, including a basic winter biking skill demonstration in hopes to ensure an improved experience for beginner riders. Our new website has had over 62,000 views since its launch in June 2022. Our social media presence continues to build with 803 members across 2 platforms, which is steadily growing. We successfully completed a joint project with the City of Fort Saskatchewan to reroute the entrance to the boat launch single-track trail system for increased safety. The FSTA procured its own insurance policy designed to protect its board members and community volunteers.
How the FSTA enhances our community. Unprecedented accessibility. Winter trails. FSTA members utilize our snow dog machine a total of 7 times to pack and level the snow on the trails. Packing down and leveling the surface on the snow ensures accessibility for all ages and abilities to engage in winter activities. We had incredible feedback from seniors this year who, for the first time, have been able to walk the single-track trails in the winter. This work also led to Fort Saskatchewan being recognized alongside Canmore, Banff, and Jasper in a Globe and Mail article highlighting destinations for winter recreating on machine-groomed trails.
Sustainability. Maintaining single-track trails in a meaningful, correct, and informed manner is incredibly important to the longevity of the land that they are on. By following certain standards, it helps to support current and future use with minimal impact to the area's natural systems, produces negligible soil loss or movement while allowing vegetation to inhabit the area. It recognizes that pruning or removal of certain plants may be necessary for proper maintenance. Designed to not adversely affect the area's wildlife, and it accommodates existing use while allowing only appropriate future use. Achieving the perfect balance between resource protection and recreation is what good trail design and construction are all about.
Prevention, stewardship, and education. Regular usage of the trails provides increased damage prevention through reporting of such things as fire hazards, unsanctioned trail building, damage, and vandalism. The FSTA provides year-long education and awareness in regards to safely sharing, using, and enjoying the single-track trails. This helps prevent user conflict and creates an improved experience for all users. Environmental stewardship is a major priority in the work we do. By mitigating negative impacts such as creating structures to prevent erosion in wet, insensitive areas, removing deadfall from across the trails to prevent people from going around, which breaks down the flora and fauna, we ensure conservation of this amazing single-track trail system. We feel that this also ensures an improved awareness of our surroundings and an enhanced natural outdoor experience. These activities have been proven to have significant and positive impact on mental and physical well-being.
And just a glossary of terms in case anyone's unfamiliar. Fat bike is a bicycle with oversized tires designed for riding off-road, particularly on soft terrain such as snow or sand. The wider tires provide better flotation, ensuring they sink less into the ground and protect susceptible areas from damage. The Snow Dog machine is an innovative, versatile, and reliable machine designed to pack down snow, creating a safe and accessible surface for trail users. Feature: wooden or dirt structure created to help avoid sensitive areas or add technical challenge for all users. In closing, we just want to thank you for your time today, and we look forward to another year of events with the Fort Saskatchewan Trail Association.
Great. Thank you very much for that presentation, Jim and Colin. So I will open it up to questions of council. So we'll see what kind of questions there are. Councillor Abatoye, you're first.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your presentation. Can I say how incredible, how much you've achieved in the last 1 year? Within just 1 year, you've achieved so much. So kudos to you guys. My question is, how do you fund your programs?
Yeah, so that's new for us this year. We started our alliance. We all pitched in $100 each and came up. We built our website just from our own pockets. But we did do a bottle drive, which helped us out a little bit at the beginning of the year, and donations through Trail Forks. They have a donation button and some e-transfers. So we're relying on the generosity of all the trail users. The people come out and they see what we have, and we have our bank account set up where we can accept e-transfers.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing that. And just my second question is, are there other groups you collaborate with within the city, and who are they?
We have reached out, but we have not come up with any kind of collaboration with any other groups within the city yet.
Okay. Well, just as an FYI, the city does have some grants funding for not-for-profit organizations. There might be an opportunity for you to apply for that when the time comes. So just keep your ears to the floor.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Blizzard.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. It looks like a nice idea, but I do have a few questions. So I've never looked at your trails. You don't do the really narrow ones that are right down by the river. I know I've walked them in the past. Some of them are super narrow, like barely one spoke of a tire or one.
Those are the ones, maybe not the ones that are that skinny, as you're saying. We do have the agreement with the city, and that is all of the trails down by the river. So it's kind of like you have the paved trails, and then the river. There is some.
Those are the ones. Those are the ones.
I've the dirt, natural surface dirt trails.
Okay. So how do you get that snow dog? In some places, that must be tough to get down.
Yeah.
So the snow dog machine is actually only 20 inches wide. So it's very narrow and very maneuverable. And it is capable of doing around 80% of the trails that we currently have.
Not 100%. Yeah.
Not 100%.
Because I've walked somewhere, you're walking almost like on a balance beam trying to get by.
Yeah, there's certain spots we aren't able to do, but the majority of it we can.
Okay, and one more for now. I do have a few questions, but you aren't going into then any of the sensitive areas. We've had other groups before us that are concerned about the Fort Sask Prairie. You don't have any trails in there?
No.
And same with the other end of town, the newly acquired areas?
No, we don't. Those areas are not on our contract with the City of Fort Saskatchewan for maintenance. We have our specified trails that were designated, and we stick to those.
Okay, I'll check out your website.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Macon.
Thanks for your presentation. It was really interesting to see what you guys have been up to this year, and fantastic work that clearly has upped our visibility in the region for trails. One of my questions was already answered. Colin, we had a conversation before, and you had mentioned, I thought it was interesting, that you're starting to see some of the unsanctioned trails start growing back as you guys have been out there more, and I just wondered if you could share a little bit about that.
Yeah, what we've seen is over the years, there's been trails added that previous to our engagement with the city, especially crossings, crisscrosses where you have unmarked intersections. And we found that now that we've began to actually maintain, especially after a trail event where we've gone out and raked and removed deadfall and made the direction and trails clear of debris, it seems to allow people to focus on what trails are designated, and they're less likely to go off of those designated trails and start making new ones. It also helps that we've updated all the sanctioned trails on applications like Trail Forks, because people use those to navigate on our trails, and it's telling you where the trail is going to be. And if you veer off, those apps will tell you you're not on a sanctioned trail and you shouldn't be there. So.
That's awesome. Thanks very much.
Okay, you're good. Okay, I'm next. Now, when you talk about the snow dog, do you do kilometers of trail? Like, how much trail would you actually do with that in the winter time,
So
and where?
I believe, Jim, that we have about 17 kilometers of sanctioned trails that we take care
Yeah,
of.
maybe closer to 20.
20 kilometers. I think we do about 15 of those are groomable
Okay,
currently.
Yes. So yeah, and we the boat launch going upriver is where we've done quite a bit of like West River's Edge,
okay.
the natural surface trails there between the pave and the river. We've done that several times, and few sections down below.
Okay, so about 20 kilometers.
Yeah,
So you just go out and walk those and
yeah.
okay. And second question, so on your trail maintenance days, approximately how many people come out and what do you do?
I can take it. It differs. We generally actually set a limit on our Eventbrite so that we don't have too many people, because we like to have a board member with each group to make sure that everyone's using the tools and stuff safely. So I would say we average between 20 and 30 people for an event. And we use leaf blowers on the trail, whippersnippers, pruners to clear sight lines is a big one, especially on corners, just so you're not coming around the corner and running into somebody. Picking up litter is a big thing. Part of the agreement with the city of Fort Saskatchewan is when we offer these trail days, any litter that we collect, we bring up to the paved paths and put near the garbage receptacles, and then the city will come do a sweep afterwards and pick that all up.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Councillor Nguyen?
Yeah, thanks for your presentation this afternoon, gentlemen. I've biked these trails since I was a young fella, and surely enjoy what you guys are enjoying and stewarding now. My first question just has to do with mapping. So I looked up Trail Forks, and that's an app. That's a paid app, is it, that people can download to access trails?
You can use it for free.
You can use it for free. Have you done any mapping on your own that you're looking at publishing on the website, just specifically for the Trail Alliance single track?
So we have created a map that we're hoping to work with the city to post on a large sign down at West River's Edge that will map all the sanctioned trails in Fort Saskatchewan.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
And my other question is, you mentioned that you have features installed. Can you give us an idea of maybe not where these are exactly, and in all of them, but how many features has FSTA built in the past year or two, if there was work being done before incorporating?
Yeah, we've really only replaced the one, which was last fall. We have quite a few on our radar that have become they're becoming unsafe. They're rotten. They haven't been really built to any kind of standard. It's been old logs and people just bringing random pieces of wood down and nailing it together. So we do have 3 on our mind right now that we're going to probably do this year.
Awesome, good to hear. One last small question: how many members do you have on your board? What is the size of the board?
We have 10 members.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Kelly?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, gentlemen. The question I had was how do you work your trade-off between the balance of environmental protection and usage of the river valley? I think maybe the starting point for your comments, if you would please, would be the concept of sanctioned trails, because it's the first I've heard of it is in this meeting. So what makes a trail sanctioned, and what policy, if any, does your board have in how new trails are designed, and what has to happen to protect the environment within the river valley?
Yeah, the city itself has done an assessment. They went from one side to the other and mapped out all of the single track trails that they have found, and then they came up with what we are allowed to work on. The standard that we are going by is called the Whistler Trail Standard, and it's a document that has kind of become the standard for all trail networks, like places like Hinton and Edson and Valmont, other areas that have biking, more biking, but it's a standard that we're abiding by.
And that standard is codified someplace within your bylaws or somewhere to formalize it for your organization?
It is. It's in our agreement.
With the city?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I assume then the agreement with the city and the concept of sanctioned trail effectively prohibits not just your group, but any other individual who might be interested, or a group of individuals, from wandering down into the green areas of town and constructing their own trail?
Yeah, we do. How can I say it? It's we don't condone anybody doing that. Like, we're not the police, but we don't. If anything, we try to deter people from building their own stuff. Like, we would like to be the authority, and the more that we get our name out there, and I think it'll go to more. It will go towards more of us doing the work than rogue people going down there and doing what they want.
And
yeah, can I just mention something on that as well? And as board members and trail users all ourselves, I think all of us are familiar with things like Fort Report. So if we come across, as we're not the governing body of these trails, we're not policing them, but if we come across unsanctioned building or encampments, stuff like that in the river valley, we utilize Fort Report to make sure that stuff gets noticed and cleared up. And
one more quick question, if I may. I think last year's budget, was it the 23 budget, you guys were on for $3,000, if my memory is correct. Did you receive grant funding from the city last year?
Correct, we did.
Okay, perfect. And by the way, I'm glad you got organized. I think it makes infinite sense. So keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly.
Great, thank you. Councillor Burgett on round 2.
That's okay. So when you get these features, you said you have features that you replace. You've done one already. Is that run by the city? And should it be? I mean, it's city land. Maybe I'll ask the city too.
Part of the agreement was we were allowed to replace what was down there, what was aging and falling apart. Any new features, we will be writing a proposal for the city to look over and walk the proposed site wherever it is, but we're just replacing what needs to be replaced right now.
Okay.
To make it safe and more fun.
Okay, thanks.
And my apologies, it's Councillor Blizzard. I was looking, I wrote your first name down. All right, that looks like all of the questions. So thank you very much for coming out and sharing what your organization has been doing. I think it's really important that the public gets to hear from you firsthand, see what you're doing, and understand that you are working with the City of Fort Saskatchewan. So you're just not out there doing your own thing. And, if it does get captured anywhere that people can contact you if they're interested in becoming part of the alliance with you. So thank you very much for coming out.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome to stay for the rest, but you're also free to leave.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, so the next item that we have is the Fort Saskatchewan Youth Council to deliver their strategic plan update. So we have Christy Wall and her many members of the Youth Council. And just while they're getting settled in, I'll just, Councillor Abatoye is your council member who is your representative. So welcome, I'll let you do introductions.
Good afternoon, Your Worship and Mayor, or Your Worship and Council. My name's Colby Mask, I'm the Youth Council Chair. Oh, my mic. Is that better? Yeah, there we go. My name's Colby Mask, I'm the Youth Council Chair. This is Soro Duncan. And to the right of her is Ava Bendick, and they're the other two members of Youth Council. So, why we're here to introduce ourselves as the Youth Council and update you on what we've been doing and what we will be doing in the future.
In November.
Oh, just push your button. There you go.
In November 2021, the Youth Council was officially approved by Mayor and Council. All existing committee members were officially appointed 2 official members by the Youth Council at this time as well. In 2022, we learned the process of governments, created a strategy plan, and completed the Democracy Survey.
These are the foundations that we have created. In our strategic plan, we identified 3 key foundations that we as the Youth Council wanted to focus on. Based on these foundations, we created goals and developed action items related to those goals. We used these action items to create the Democracy. We then gave it to students in grades 7 to 12 and asked them to initiate what 3 action items were important to them to better understand the needs and wants of youth in our community. So one of the 3 action items is welcoming and healthy commuting. We have 5 smaller pillars underneath it. The first one would be to inform indoor facility plan, learn about and advocate for green spaces that promote active engagement, learn about and advocate for safety community initiatives, work to make our community more diverse, accepting, and inclusive, commit to the work of truth and reconciliation. The next action item is partnership, to partner with youth services, agencies, and help promote and advocate for resources, create partnerships and or relationships with agencies and support that may benefit Fort Saskatchewan residents, participate in professional learning and developing opportunities. And the last action item is advocacy, for increased access to mental health supports, learn about and advocate for more accessible recreational activities, for transportation in our community and regionally, for increased access to medical professionals, for easier access and affordable and nutritious food, to inform the community of food waste reduction strategies.
So in 2023, our actions are going to be informed by our Democracy results, and what we discovered are important to the youth in our community. And in order to address these issues, we're doing things such as collaborating with the police committee to address concerns about safety in our community, and looking at how to support the police community in areas of potential growth and just doing better work with youth. We've also been meeting with city departments to gain a better understanding of what they do and how we can work with them to promote youth interests. So developing green spaces that work better for youth, or how we can work with, Parks Department to develop green spaces, or understanding the transportation needs of youth in our community, or where they might want a new recreation facility, or the directions how they might want it, for example. Moving forward, some of our top priorities over the next year are transportation both locally and regionally. Just advocating for better transportation networks is a big key thing that we want to do. Advocating for mental health and more engaging green spaces for our community are things that we want to do moving forward. All right. In summary, as a youth council, we want to continue the dialogue with mayor and council as we move forward, as well as with other departments, and learning from them and figuring out how we as an organization can grow. We want to continue to learn and work on our action items with both city administrations and with the community and community groups. And that's all we got. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that presentation, and I will open it up for questions of council. So with that, I know the questions will be popping up. If you don't mind, I'm going to go first and ask, when you talk about transportation, community, and regional, what is on your mind? What are you thinking?
There was that program a while ago. You'll have to forgive me that I can't remember the name of it. It got canceled. It was about regional transportation community.
I think the bigger point is that what our goal is to meet with the transit, not committee, but transit in Fort Saskatchewan to learn a little bit more about it, what some of the growth looks like on the end of what administration will be doing, and then seeing if there's room for advocacy or input from youth council.
Okay, and I think that would be good because I think it would be really interesting to know which way youth would really like to go. Do you still like to go into Clareview? Would you prefer to go to Sherwood Park? I think those would be good considerations for council to understand. So that's great. Thank you. Second one, green spaces. So what are kids looking, or what are youth, not kids? I call everybody a kid. So what's the youth looking for as far as green spaces?
We're not exactly sure yet. We haven't quite gone out to the youth and asked them that question directly, but we hope to do that moving forward eventually.
Okay, and when you say you're going to go out and ask, do you go out to the schools?
Yeah. That's how we got our original Dotmocracy results, was going into the schools, and we hope to continue to work with things like the leadership class at Fort High, right?
Well, we've been meeting, so where all of our results came from was a Dotmocracy that we did previous to Christmas. So we went into all of the schools that were junior high and high school, and we gave them 3 stickers, and they had a choice out of a whole bunch of action items to make their top 3 choices. And from that, we got the results that we're just starting now to kind of dig into. So as they shared in the presentation, we've collaborated with the policing committee to do a little bit of work digging into why, how safe do youth feel in this community? Is there area that we could work collaboratively with the policing committee? And then looking at the engagement of green spaces is another one that came up on the list of Dotmocracy that we haven't had a chance yet to dig into, but hopefully, well, it's summer, but hopefully we will be doing that, and it will be engagement with youth again.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Kelly, you're next.
Thank you. Good afternoon, folks. Great to see you here. I have lots of questions. I guess let me start this way. Is it your objective with your organization to be primarily an advocacy group?
Your worship, through to Councillor Kelly, I believe it is. It's more to work with mayor and council, but yes, it definitely is to advocate for youth and youth issues within our community.
And I would support that. Don't jump around when you answer that question. That's what you're here for. I'd like to give you some suggestions. This city, and it's only 30,000. It's not a big city in the grand scheme of things, but there's a million things going on. Focus on 2 or 3 things every year that you think are important and that you can have an impact on. Don't spread yourself too thin. When you focus on, and this isn't questions. This is a granddad talking here. When you focus on those items, put together your argument. It's not just we want it, but why. Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to use it? Who's going to look after it? And what are the benefits to having it? Those are the questions that council has to work with. And if you could bring answers to those questions, it would help. Way more than just saying we want it. Okay? Because everybody in the city wants something. Now, with that mini lecture in past, congratulations. Keep up the good work. I know it's only your first year. Stay focused, okay?
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Councillor Macon.
Thanks for your presentation, guys. You guys did an amazing job. And I just want to say, from where we started in 2021, I think, you guys are doing great work. And I love to see where it's come in the months since I've not been on youth council with you. So wonderful job. What I'm excited to see is when we're talking about, you mentioned recreation centers. Well, I'm excited to come and see you present to council on what the youth's opinion of that are and what the youth want to see. And I would love it to see you guys back, say during budget or when we're making those big decisions, to come forward with a unified voice for youth and say, this is what we want to see. So I'm excited to see where you're going, and really great job today, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Blizzard.
Yeah, I'm going to say too, very good presentation. It's probably not easy jumping in front of us all staring at you. You did a really good job bringing the different points forward. I know the board, you started only a year ago, and you have how many board members in total capacity?
Currently we just lost a few, so we're down to 3 members at the moment. But
And how many can be on your board?
we can have up to
10
10.
to 14.
So you're looking for new board members?
We're looking to recruit here this summer. We're going to go on a big recruiting spree.
Yeah, good idea. And are you going to, say, Legacy Park with the booth? They have the family festival, or do you go more into the schools and try and promote it there?
Yeah, at Family Festival, we're really hoping to get out and speak with the youth and try and promote our organization. We're not sure if we're going to have a booth, but we do know Yak is going to have one, and we're hoping to squeeze in with them. Things like farmers markets are something that we might want to go out and promote our organization at. And at the schools, I believe we already do have some campaigns, but they have not been very successful so far.
Yeah, it might be good to, go to the schools and ask if you could have a school rep at each school, at least the older ones, right? That, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have more, but, minimum of one would be a nice representative of each school. Okay, good job anyways. I think that's all the questions I have.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Abatoye.
Can I just say how incredibly proud I am of you guys for your presentation today. I know it's not easy to face all of these faces, but I think you did an incredible job, so well done. And I just want to also say how you inspire me. I remember having a conversation actually last meeting saying that council usually closes for the summer and we should take summer break, and they're like, no, we want to keep working. I'm like, okay. I guess we keep having our meetings, but just well done for this. And I think the work I'm really, really proud of is the Democracy document and how much work you guys put into that, going to 7 schools and speaking to 700 students. That's a lot. So you guys need to give yourself a pat on the back for that, so well done. And I think that, you're in the process of gathering information. And so that's why a lot of things are not yet ironed out. And, I think in the next 1 year, I think, this group will come a long way. And I really look forward to, including more members. So I'm hoping that by the end of this year, we can get 5 more members. Deal? Right. Okay, perfect. I had no questions. Just wanted to say I'm really incredibly proud of you guys, and I look forward to coming to work with you in the next 1 year.
Thank you.
And Christy, well done too, because I know you put a lot of hard work into this.
Oh, thank you. I'm very proud of them. I have to say it's been a journey and it's been a really fun one. And putting together this presentation has been. It's been good for us. And some of them haven't been around when it first became a youth council, and so it was exciting to kind of talk about the history and history. It's only been a year, but how we came about. And so thank you all very much for allowing us to come and present.
Great. And that looks like all of the questions. So thank you very much for coming in this afternoon. It's greatly appreciated. And your chair here has been at several of our council meetings taking notes, and I think that's excellent. We always appreciate it when you show up because you can tell there's not many people out there. So, keep up the good work. And as everybody says, communication and back and forth is really good. So often we hear from the youth in the schools, they don't hear what's going on, and then we don't hear from the youth. So I think if we tell them this is our conduit and we've got connections, then you should be the ones who are their voice. So good job. All right, and thank you very much. And same thing, you're welcome to stay, but you're out. I think we're almost done anyway, so. Great. Okay, Councillor Inquiries of Administration. And I do have one, and I know I've sent in a couple Fort reports, and that seems like lately I'm getting, like on the doggy do bags and the receptacles, when the staff go out, are they actually checking to see that they're intact and and filled, or are they being stolen, or what's going on with that?
To your worship, yes, we are still checking that they're there and that they're intact. We are a bit behind on our trash services. We were focused on sweeping the pass. By the end of this week, we expect to be back to our regular rotation. If you do see a dispenser that is down or has been stolen or damaged, we really appreciate any fort report submissions. That's the best way to make sure that it's incorporated into the work plans.
Okay, and then the second one is just regarding the service level for the garbage receptacles in general, like even at City Hall. So does that go into that they're out of sequence on that? Because I'm finding we did litter pickup and they're filled and now the birds are pulling it out, so.
To your worship, yes, this has been an observation that we've made as well. We were impacted by the delay with the sweeping. We're hoping to get back on track, but we're going to keep an eye on it throughout the summer as well.
Okay, really appreciate that. Thank you. Any other councillor inquiries? Not seeing any. I will take a motion to go in camera. Councillor Nguyen.
I'll move that council enter in camera for matters to be discussed under VoIP.
Thank you. Motion is closed. Please cast your vote. And the motion is carried. So we will go to in camera.